Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is the 4th episode. I do all unscripted work. I'm not reading anything ever. I just give you my comments. It means these are very long work days, guys. There's a lot of news. I've had to cut like half the news just trying to keep up, but I like ending each day on a positive note. Those of you in the Quad Club, people that watch all four videos a day, you help keep the lights on. I have so many new subscribers, I can't even believe it, okay? I just thank you for subscribing. Helps my channel grow. That always helps with YouTube, and therefore it helps get the truth out. 1/3 of you are not subscribed yet. Come on in. It's harmless. It's how you say thank you. Now, one of my big themes I've been talking about today is how the youth is the future, and we're in better hands with the youth right now than any other generation. So we're going to pray for them. We're going to support them. We're going to support Turning Point USA. Also, I'm going to give you guys directions on all that in the future. We're going to stick together all the way to making sure the Republicans win in 2026 in the fall. If the Republicans lose, Trump will be impeached by the Democrats. Okay, so we're going to work together, making these arguments all the way through the year. By the end of the year, you will be so smart about politics. We will be funding Turning Point USA, which is now the largest youth movement of Trump supporters, and they will be J.D. Vance supporters and Senate supporters in our nation's history. Here's a young guy. Here's the youth guys. Look at this kid and go, hey, what a hippie. No. Listen to them. We got to start listening to them instead of judging their exterior.
You don't have to mourn the death of Charlie Kirk. You don't have to be sad. You don't even have to care. But what you can't do is celebrate, because that's what's dangerous. When you look at every fascist dictator in the world, what are the actions that they took? They silenced those who opposed their opinions, their ideologies. They killed them. The murder of Charlie Kirk is deeply fascist.
The trans movement is fascist. The Democrat Party is fascist. Leftists are fascist. They've gotten away for years with going, oh, we all know the right are fascist. We all know Republicans are fascist. That's a lie. Fascism is not the party you belong to. It's how you act. Democrats have acted more fascist in the last 10, 20 years than I've ever seen ever come from the American right. Democrats, because they stop debate and free speech.
You have to understand that even though you disagreed with him, this is a fascist action. How many young men are now radicalized and are willing to take violent action against those that they view as the enemy? They view the opposition as somebody who's willing to kill them, and they are going to retaliate. How many young men? How much more violence stems from this? So no, you're not being asked to mourn. You're not being asked to be sad. You're being asked to not celebrate. Nobody should be celebrating when another is killed. That's what's wrong.
That's what's wrong. Good man. Good long-haired gentleman there of the youth calling him out. We got way more. Here's a short-haired gentleman. Look at this. Turning Point USA. They have this Real America's Voice network, and they needed someone to guest host for the Charlie Kirk show. This is a heartbreaker. One of Charlie Kirk's closest friends is J.D. Vance. And so the Charlie Kirk show asked J.D. Vance to host today. I'm going to show you a clip.
A country of 330 million people, you can of course find one person of a given political persuasion justifying this or that or almost anything. But the data is clear. People on the left are much likelier to defend and celebrate political violence. This is not a both sides problem. If both sides have a problem, one side has a much bigger and malignant problem, and that is the truth we must be told. That problem has terrible consequences. The leader of our party, Donald J. Trump, escaped an assassin's bullet by less than an inch. Our House Majority Leader, Stephen Scalise, came within seconds of death by an assassin himself. And now, the most influential conservative activist in generations, our friend Charlie, has been murdered. This violence, it doesn't come from nowhere. Now, any political movement, violent or not violent, is a collection of forces. It's like a pyramid that stacks on top, one support on top of the other. That pyramid's got a foundation of donors, of activists, of journalists, now of social media influencers, and of course of politicians. Not every member of that pyramid would commit a murder. In fact, over 99% I'm sure would not. But by celebrating that murder, apologizing for it, and emphasizing not Charlie's innocence, but the fact that he said things some didn't like, even to the point of lying about what he actually said, many of these people are creating an environment where things like this are inevitably going to happen.
That's the warning. They're going to do it again, guys. Obviously, biblically, the shooter should get the death penalty. But that's not what I'm waiting for, because the problem is still there. They're weaponizing and radicalizing crazy people, hoping one of them will take a shot. And then they'll go, hey, we didn't have anything to do with it. We didn't know. We're going to end on good news, though, guys. This is going to be good news all here. Earlier today, I talked about this nurse who turned in her doctor for celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder, a doctor who took the Hippocratic oath to do no harm. She called him out, and then she got put on administrative leave, and they cut her salary. Well, here's some good news, okay? You guys ready for some good news? Here's the New York Post. The New Jersey surgeon who cheered Charlie Kirk's murder resigns. Now, he didn't do it on his own. Trust me, he did not do it on his own. The New Jersey hospital came to him and said, you resign or you get fired. You'll look a lot better if you resign. So just in the name of self-preservation, he resigned. I don't know the facts of that situation. I'm telling you, that's what happened. Probably, okay? I'm almost certain. As the suspended nurse, this cute little hottie here, who called him out, is reinstated. So she got her job back. There she is in her swimsuit, straddling a cardboard cutout of Donald Trump. Good little patriot. We won one. All of those Democrats need to be fired, 1,000%. All of the Republicans need to be protected because we don't dance on people's graves. I want you to remember when Joe Biden announced that he had colon cancer, I even thought it was probably for political reasons they released it, because they knew he had colon cancer for years. They only announced it to cover up for his decline. However, my first post was praying for Joe Biden, for God to heal his colon cancer. You know, we're different. By the way, even on the right, if they did make fun of Joe Biden for having colon cancer, they didn't mean it. We might have a dark sense of humor, but when the left laughs about Charlie Kirk, they mean it. Dominic Frisby wrote, just when you thought stuff couldn't get any more stupid. This is the trans ideology, the feminist ideology that is madness, and they intend to break your society over. Ready for this? Man overboard is an offensive term. Man overboard. They're all, don't you, me, he, him, she, her, overboard. Man overboard. Quick, it's an emergency. Get that life preserver. They're going to start correcting your vocabulary instead of throwing a life preserver. Says the Royal Yachting Association, featuring Thurston and Lovey Howell III. It's all those East Coast, my boat people out there. Inclusive language guide, honors and values women and non-binary people when sailing. Guys, this is madness. The phrase man overboard, Lovey, is an offensive term. Buffy, we water the lawn with Perrier and sparkling water. The phrase man overboard is an offensive term that should be avoided. The Royal Yachting Association has said, with no shame or no introspection, the national governing body for sailing, which was founded in 1875, has suggested that it should instead be replaced with person in water. What if they don't identify as a person? Goodness. In an inclusive language guide. Well, they weren't this stupid since 1875. Moving on. There's more. This is my favorite one. Look at the CNN gal here. They're going to report all the positive numbers that's happening at Turning Point. Look at her face. She looks like her cat died. She looks like she's seen a ghost. Listen to this.
At this point, we're over 37,000 inquiries just through our website, tpusa.com, saying, I want to get involved and start a chapter. And to put that in perspective, right now we have 900 college chapters, official college chapters, and 1,200 high school chapters, and about 3,500 total. So 37,000 is enormous.
It's 10 times more. Charlie Kirk lost his life, and they're going to go from 3,500 chapters at TPUSA, Turning Point USA, where each chapter, there's a small one here in Tennessee. There's one out in England, by the way, in Great Britain. They have a TPUSA England. I just talked to a guy who knows of them. They could be tiny on high school groups and on campuses. And they just now had 38,000 new inquiries about starting a chapter on college and in high school. I just want you guys to multiply that. 38,000. If each one, gets like 100 people, it will be millions of votes in every state, enough to secure J.D. Vance's presidency. That's Charlie's legacy moving on. But look at the CNN chick's face. I love that they're reporting this on CNN. Here, you know what this is called? This is called CNN face. From now on, that's CNN face. You get CNN face every time there's good news about Turning Point. For the rest of our lives, this is what CNN, she's not smiling. Oh, 38,000 new chapters of Turning Point. Instead, she's going, what did we do? What did my party do? What did we do? There's 38,000 new chapters of young people they'll be voting for the rest of their lives. Why? Why did we lie about Charlie Kirk and the president's assassination? What did we do? I love it. The universe is healing.
I said, two people could say the same thing, Pamela, and for some reason, Charlie's would go further, and it's because there's something in it. The integrity of who he was and what he believed and what he stood for, and his faith in Jesus was so powerful that it would just
and his faith in Jesus. She's ready to jump off a building. Holy cow!
Echo and spread, and that's what made his voice so powerful. And you're seeing that now with how people are so moved by it that they just can't do anything but try and get involved in some way. And we've been just inundated with people saying, hey, I run this kind of company. Can I help? It's totally free. Hey, I do this. Can this be helpful to you? And then the students are devastated. We're getting so many of those testimonials, and they want to see Charlie's legacy live on through Turning Point USA.
Oh, hold on. Companies are calling and asking, how can we help? Students are signing up in record numbers. CNN face, ladies and gentlemen. CNN face. Remember that one. We're going to start using that one. Here's Benny Johnson with a pretty cool take right here. We're going to hit this one.
All right,
next.
breaking right now, reports of a confession posted on Discord from Charlie Kirk's suspected assassin hours before, after the murder, but hours before his father turned him in to authorities in Utah. This is Washington Post reporting on this at this point. Justice correspondent David Spunt joining me now live from Washington. Hi, David. What can you tell us?
About 2 hours before he was turned into authorities, this according to the Washington Post. We are working to independently confirm this as well, but the Washington Post says that Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old suspect charged in Charlie Kirk's murder, confessed. And I want to read this according to the Washington Post, writing on Discord, that social media chat group that the FBI says he used, quote, hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. This coming from the Washington Post.
He's not sorry for all of it, by the way. He's not sorry for it. He posted that in the Discord to his co-conspirators. Right now they're sweating all of these kids out, these evil little, some are trans, some are furries, but they're all getting sweat out right now. Every one of them, I guarantee you, they're doing good cop, get bad cop with them. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, the best interrogators in the world, are shaking. They're going to come in giggling, going, hee, I'm an anarchist. And when the doors close, they're going to start smacking them. You think this is a joke? They rough them up a little bit. You think this is a joke? And then the good one comes in and goes, look, that guy, that FBI guy that just interviewed you, he's smacking you around. I don't support that. I'm the good one. Okay, I just want you to give me anything. Give me any piece of information and I'll make bad guy go away. I'm with you. That's good cop, bad cop. That's what's going on right now with that Discord. Shake those kids down for information.
Now, this comes as DOJ officials began late last week and over the weekend looking at the potential for at least one federal charge. No guarantee they'll get there. A department spokesperson declined comment, but a source familiar said investigators are not ruling anything out at this time, especially his online gaming presence, his chats, as we just mentioned. Who was he talking to?
Yeah, he's talking to a group of kids online. They're all being shaken down right now. As the details come out, guys, a lot of you guys have been misled by channels trying to get clicks, and they're trying to terrify you. And they're telling you about flying saucers, spaceships, and the Jews instead of facts. They're going the second gun. The gun was placed. The gun was up there. He had a breakdown gun. And then I saw him jump off a building without a gun. Dude, you cannot jump off a building with a gun, okay? And they're going, what about the screwdriver? There's a magic screwdriver. Oh, okay. Okay. Terrify everyone. I had someone tell me Kash Patel was a liar and was in on it. They're telling you guys that the FBI under Kash Patel is in on shooting Charlie. Guys, I value your time. I don't care that they want to be entertaining and make up all this UFO, Bigfoot, blurry footage, conspiracy stuff, okay? What bugs me is they're lying to you and some of you are believing it, all right? Now this kid, this is about kind of the social fallout. This is a guy with millions and millions of followers on TikTok, okay? This is all he said to them. I'm not going to play the whole clip. I'm just going to play a couple of it. He just said, look, Charlie's a human being. Charlie Kirk was a human being. Guess what happened to him take a guess what happened to him when he told his audience, millions and millions of people from his entertainment audience, this.
That if you are an intelligent, emotionally stable, normal human being with a heart and a soul, that you would watch that video of that man dying in unimaginable death, suffering, that your heart would sink into your.
He just described what happened to Charlie. And you know what happened? He lost millions of followers for saying that, for supporting Charlie Kirk. He lost on an entertainment channel. He lost millions of followers. Those are all Democrats. Those are all the youth on the left. They're in the past. They're not going to have political influence in the future, but they've been brainwashed by a culture, by a Democrat party that told them 24/7 on every news outlet, on CNN face, on MSNBC face, that Trump is Hitler, Charlie Kirk is Hitler, and it's the end of democracy, and democracy's on the ballot, and this is the last election there is. Trump's not going to have another election. That they hate trans people, not that they disagree, but that they hate them. This guy loses 1 million, and he's a normie, lost 1 million followers. That is what happens, guys. The people have been brainwashed. Here's libs of TikTok. Holy crap, U.S. attorney for the Social Security Administration. How many of my audience are on Social Security right now? Let me know in the chat below. Are you on Social Security? Well, here's the head, the U.S. attorney for the Social Security Administration. Our tax dollars pay his salary, and he was mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. Probably wrote this while on the job, while on salary, paid, mocked Charlie Kirk's death. You get canned, okay? Here's Rudy Giuliani with a funny one. This is breaking. Dr. Karen Leader, professor at Florida Atlantic, who spent 3 days demonizing Charlie following his assassination, has been placed on leave. Another one bites the dust. And then Rudy Giuliani, update, fired. So she wasn't just placed on leave, she was canned. Thank you, Rudy Giuliani, for contributing to our knowledge base. Wait, there's more. Here's leftists aren't getting fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. They're just opting to get fired. This is a funny one by this Pericles guy. This is from NPR. He's quoting, because remember, all the left right now are going, you can't fire the left. You can't fire them for their speech. You can't fire them. And then NPR. This is NPR from 2021. Thousands of workers are opting to get fired rather than take the vaccine. So it's that wording from NPR that we're going to start using. Workers are opting to get fired, okay? That's how they treated people who wouldn't take the vaccine. They wrote the headline, they're opting to get fired rather than take the vaccine. So this guy put it back in their words. Leftists aren't getting fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. They're just opting to get fired. I love it. Wait, there's more. Here is Cracker Barrel, who think you are stupid rednecks. They think you're dumb. Here's Cracker Barrel. Like any good relationship, sometimes you need a little tune-up. We're going back to the things that made us all fall in love in the first place. We're buddies again, right? You forgive us, right? For funding the trans agenda that got Charlie killed, for funding the rainbow and Black Lives Matter. All we got to do is put the sign back and put the man on the barrel back, and you dummies will go right back to Cracker Barrel, right? I'm going to turn the volume down. They're showing, well, look at the homies. I got to get down here in the corner. They got the blue collar construction boys they're taking the old one off, so you have evidence, putting the rocking chairs. Oh, there's the old man with the pickle barrel. Old country. Look, guys, we're putting it back. See how we put it back? We're at our most putting it back-ist. We're taking those designs down. We're taking them down. We're going to put back. We're putting them on. Look, we're putting them in storage. We swear. We put them back. We did our job. Now, come on. Please come back. Come back. Now, this is my comment. Cracker Barrel made public statements supporting and funding the trans ideology that was weaponized to kill Charlie Kirk. It is important to Cracker Barrel to never make a public statement to reverse that position of their promoting and supporting trans. They will never publicly say they do not support the rainbow that they are still funding with your money. Statement to reverse, when they told their customers the truth, they told back before they got in trouble 2 years ago when it was popular, they told you the truth about the DNA that runs their corporation. They said it is diversity, it is trans, it is rainbow, and those are all the political people that they fund. Now I said swapping out masks makes it easy, and they do it because they think their customers are stupid. Here's my friend, Nurkish, from Nurk News, whom I love. He says, now we should make them change it back to the ugly new design just out of spite. We should have them go back to that plain Cracker Barrel. So I posted, I said, I demand that you remove the barrel and the man. I'm starting a new movement. Remove the barrel with the man on it. Now that they've put him back, I want to torment Democrats. And by the way, people say like, hey, Doug, you're cheating. You're not using proper rules of debate. You're no longer, the Marcus of Queensbury rules of debate when you get into a match, no, just keep it above the waist, and they're sitting there punching you on the ground. They pull out a hammer and they start beating you over the head in a boxing ring and go, you follow the rules. Now you're beating us in a fight. That's why I just make fun of them. I'm here to help make fun of them. You guys don't believe in rules. The Democrat left, you do not believe in rules. You're only calling out rules now because you're losing. That's why I'm going to show you guys an old debate that I was in with a guy that was trying to tell me that women can have a penis. This is Vaush, an atheist. This is all I would do is let them talk and then destroy them. We're going to end on a little piece of humor.
Ask you, why can a person with a penis not be a woman?
Because women don't have penises.
Why not? Can you find me a dictionary definition of woman which includes that?
I would only point to your mom. Did your mom have a penis? I'm Doug in Exile.